There was a lot of, I think, studying, at least as far as what filmmaking was at that time, and by all reports, it was the Wild Wild West. Anything goes.
They told the wildest stories. I mean, just how they would kind of film a battlefield scene by grabbing, hundreds of homeless people, throwing them onto the set, giving them a lunch, that was their only payment, and then throwing them a spear and say, fight. I mean, it was just insane. People dying during the making of movies. People dying of drug overdoses left and right. Drugs that now you can, are strictly illegal, being legal at the time. Wildness in the air that I think in many ways is unparalleled in all of history.
Damien was so clearly swinging for the fences on this one. He wanted bigger, more crazier, more absurd. He just encouraged us always to just completely go for it. He was trying to capture the spirit of what filmmaking was like at that time, and like Brad said, it was just the Wild West. It was insane.
I wanted to just kind of do something that would be maximalist, that would go all the way, and that would just demolish expectations of what, kind of quaint old Hollywood was, and just show people, I think, something closer to the truth.
This movie, it's kind of like, it is a bit of a merry-go-round. Like, some things will never change. Of course, the industry's evolved in a lot of ways, but at the end of the day, like, people all coming together to chase this dream and capture this moment of magic and give it to people is kind of what they were doing back then, and it's kind of what we're doing now, I think.
I walk away with with a kind of a beautiful statement about our industry and filmmaking, and just that it is this big community, and to get to be a part of, a small little part of telling stories, that are going to be in the evolution or the lineage of those that came before us, and there'll be those that come after us. And so I find that kind of beautiful. This one is one of those that deserves to be on the big screen, be seen in a communal kind of atmosphere. I'm excited by that, but at the same time, things travel, as we dictate, the audience dictates. We're liking to see a lot of things at home. There's been great benefits from that. People are getting the opportunity, more actors, more writers and directors, and you see there's just an endless wealth of talent. I think both can exist, and I hope the big screen is still part of that.
Yeah, I think the industry is going through a change, but not as seismic as the shift it went through that you witness in Babylon. The transition from silent films to talkies was a way more drastic. Why is there such a huge uptick in suicides at this particular time when there was this changeover? Oh, actually, I think there's a darker story than the one we've always heard or been told. I think back then it was far more drastic, and what you see in this movie is our characters grappling with that, some better than others.
Movies like this, it seems like they're harder and harder to make, so when you get to make one and you feel, I think, extra grateful, I think all of us making this, we felt the labor of love aspect of it, and so my hope is just that the audience feels that as well, feels the sort of passion that went into making this and responds passionately and kind.